Right, hello everybody, this is the Retro Bear in the gaming pantry, what is now take 3 of this video. I don't usually do 3 takes, but today I appear to be severely off form for some reason. I have no idea why. Anyway, hope this one goes better than the last 2, because they've now been consigned to the history of ether, I suppose, best way of putting it. Yeah, so welcome back again to the Gaming Pantry. Thank you very much indeed for tuning in if you are here for the first time. Hope you enjoy it. If you are here once again returning, then great. Let's continue, and let's hope my bad form doesn't put you off today. I don't know what's going on. It's a Sunday. I'm just not with it today for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. Anyway, so back with a sort of a roundup video. We've got some shout-outs, we've got some updates, we've got some pickups, we've got some free gifts. So it's quite a lot to get through. I don't know why I'm just not focusing today. Really, really strange. Let us address the game of the room. It's what we always do first of all, and you'll be surprised to see that this is Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds on the PlayStation 3. And it's not my sort of game. As most regular viewers will know, it's not my sort of game at all. Hello. Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on. I've been watching this for a little bit. There's all sorts of characters on here from all sorts of things I don't recognise. Marvel, obviously. There's a few Capcom characters I recognise. From Street Fighter and Final Fight, and Sir Knight from Ghosts and Goblins is in here as well. There it is. Now, I got this relatively cheap. I think I maybe paid, I would say £1, because £1 is what I tend to pay for everything, but I might have actually paid 99p for that from a cash converters. I'm pretty sure it was probably about a couple of years ago. They were just getting rid of some old stock. Got some good Resident Evil, Raccoon City, and some other stuff in there at the same time as well. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, it's, manual's a bit water damaged, I think, or well used. There's a sticker on the back of the box, but there we go. So that'll be bombing around in the background, and it does work. It does sort of play the game and other things, which is really good. So yeah, that'll be going there anyway. But not my sort of game, really. I don't know why. I don't like fighting games, do I? So, but those sort of games do hold their value. Some of them do anyway. The good ones. The bad ones tend not to, like the fourth one, Infinite, which I've got on the PlayStation 4, and the Gemstone Collection, which I've shown off before in the past anyway. Sunday morning, there we go. We've had the clocks go back over here in the UK, which is one thing or another. So you're meant to get an extra hour in bed, which is really stupid when you wake up at 5:30 in the morning, because you think, oh, it really would be 6:30. It's now 5:30. So I'm going to go back to sleep for an hour, and then you wake up an hour and a quarter later, much more tired than you were when you went to bed, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just completely thrown me. But of course that means darker nights. Not Batman, dark nights. Oh dear, they're closing in, and within about a month's time we'll be getting to like 3:45 in the afternoon. It'll be dark. Oof. No one likes the dark nights, because that means everything sort of draws in earlier, doesn't it? And you didn't come here to listen to this, talk about the seasons and what's going on, but you're going to get some of that information anyway. So, right, what have we done? So it's a bit of an update. What's happened in the last few weeks or so. For those of you who haven't watched any of the videos or missed them for some reason or whatever, it's been a fairly quiet month, October. I haven't done an awful amount. Done a couple of the Barely Play videos, which have gone pretty well. I think we start the month with the second part of the Desert Island Games interview with Pete Sneztastic, which went fantastically well. Once again, thanks to Pete for all his time on that. I've got a couple I need to start to hook up interviews with. They guys know where they are, because I've spoken to them about it, to do for November, to try and get those up in that particular month. If you don't know what Desert Island Games is, go along and have a look. There'll be a thing up here in a minute. It says Desert Island Games, maybe, or a bit later on, depending on when I can remember to put it in. And go along and click on that, and it'll take you through the previous interviews. We have Retro Gaming, we had Time Warp James, we've had Retro 48K, Pete Snestastic, and somebody's name I'm sort of going to shoot myself in the head and can't remember who it is. There's been 5 or 6 of these anyway. Not to say that they weren't memorable chats, because they're all good fun. It's all been a great sort of effort to do that. And if you want to be a guest on Desert Island Games, drop me a line. The email address will be in the description below. And it's just me talking to you about some games you like to take to the desert island and your gaming history. It's simple. People love it. It's a great idea. It's a audio only format. Have a check on them into those. Barely Play, which is the gameplay, short gameplay videos I do. We've done Ridge Racer 7 went really, really well. That was like, wow. So many people got in touch with that. In fact, the last 2 games I've done on that, Ridge Racer 7 on the PlayStation 3 and Quantum of Solace on the Xbox 360, a lot of people have said that either they've played the games and really enjoyed them, or they've never played them, or they've got them in their collections but they never actually played them, and it's actually inspired people to either go out and buy the game, or people taking my advice again, this is really, really scary, go out and buy the game, or digging their own copies out and giving it a go, which is fantastic. That's what the whole purpose of Barely Played is there for. I've got so many games here, that's the whole purpose of that series, to try and play a few more of them, and then, you know, if you're like me and you've got it on your shelf, you don't get yourself the box or whatever for ages, gathering dust and all this business, then it'll inspire you to go and play it, and you think, actually, a second, this is rather a good game. And, you know, all this plastic tat suddenly becomes, you know, not worthless or pointless. It becomes relevant. You know, we don't just buy stuff for the sake of stick it on the shelf. Some of these things actually we buy, which we dismiss, are actually quite good. So that was really good. Not been so much on the podcast front, but I'm recording this before we're doing our podcast tonight. We're doing a live 25th episode spectacular with dancing girls and elephants. No, maybe not. I don't know. There might be. No, I'll tune in and find out. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to try that stream live on the internet. So this has been filmed before that, so this will be going up after that. So it was either a fantastic success or a complete disaster. I don't know, but hopefully we'll get back onto the every sort of 2-week rotation on the podcast and do. It probably means we'll be doing 2 a month, I would have thought, or you know, 2 to 3 a month or something like that, which is good, and people do enjoy those. That's great. So we haven't done one for a bit, but we're doing a live episode tonight. That's what else we do. I've nothing else really. Have I? Nothing else. I've done a couple of guest spots on some other channels. I did a guest spot with LKG. Did a live pickups with Cooper's World. Steve, which was interesting, the fact that I ain't got any pickups and Steve had about 4 or 5 which we did on a Friday night a few weeks ago. It was quite fun actually, because I just showed off some of my Wii games. Obviously with this collection haven't been sort of shown on here yet, but I did actually show some of the games off on that. So if you do want to go across and have a look at that, that's on Steve's channel. I think it's in my collection, not my special events section of my channel. And sort of we did that was quite fun, good fun to do. So I've obviously Steve's commented on videos, we've done comments back and forth, but we've never actually sort of had a conversation before, so that was quite good to do. I enjoyed doing that. That was a lot of fun. What else? Not a lot else really. It's been quite. Mrs. Bear's been sort of tied up with other stuff, so she's not been doing so much on the repairs front, which again we must sort out a video for that, because I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I don't. That's one thing I'm certainly going to try and sort out. So hopefully some more Barely Played stuff, more podcasts. These sort of videos are probably going to, maybe, depending on how things go, in terms of sort of going out and picking stuff up, because, you know, it's getting a bit serious out there again, isn't it? I don't want to mention it, but it's getting a bit serious out there again. And the weather's turning, you know, so like it was yesterday. Yesterday would best have been Saturday 24th. It was a horrible day, so I didn't go anywhere. And in fact, I think the last time I went out was my birthday weekend, which was 2 weeks ago, and I did pop out on the 17th. What I'm going to show here is stuff for the 17th. I didn't go on the 24th. We'll see what happens next week. It's Halloween, isn't it? I mean, that'll be scary enough as it is, with everything else going on. And of course, a lot of time being taken up with baseball and American football at the moment. So I'm sort of busy, trying to keep up with everybody's videos as well. Great to see people keep pushing the content out. People keep pushing it out. Great to see so many people doing it, and we need to keep it going. Now it's hard work, especially with everything else going on at the moment. This is probably the last thing that people want to be doing, but we've got to keep it going, keep the content, and this is what I'm always being told. You know, keep putting content. Try not to sort of put too much out at the same time, depending on what you got to do. In this case, not an awful lot. Right, so let's get on. I'm going to split this into 2, these pickups as such. So I'm going to do The free stuff I've been given. Then we'll do some shout-outs. Piece of paper ready. Then we'll do the other half of the pickups, which is stuff I picked up on the 17th of October. So that gives us a little bit of a structure. It's always got to have structure, isn't it? It's always got to have a structure. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting a bit... Yeah, I'm not going to mention the space issue. I've mentioned it now. Right. Not going to mention it. Now, somebody quite rightly pointed out, you always seem to talk about this space and room. Yes, I know. It's a big issue. It's a big issue for all of us, but... yeah, I'm not going to talk about it this week. So, anyway, let's go back to last week just gone. First part of these three things I was given. And I was at work, yes. Unusually. It's amazing. Because having worked all the way through lockdown and had sort of, I did basically four to 6 months, it was, well, 6 months without... 6.5 months without with only sort of bank holidays and 1 or 2 days spaced off in between here. I had 2 weeks off at the end of July, then had a week off in September and a week off in October. The amount of people who turned around to me at work and said, "Oh, you off again next week? Again? What do you mean again? I've got this holiday to use up before the end of the year. Of course, I have time off." 3 or 4 people said, "What, again? You're off again?" I don't know. I mean, it seems very, very strange. You can do sort of 6.5 months without, well, basically sort of running yourself into the ground. And then sort of in the last, where are we now, 4 months, no, 3 months, in the middle of July. So last sort of 3 months, basically. I've had 4 weeks, that's basically a month off. So I work 6.5 months, have a month off, and then work 2 months. I don't see what the problem is with that. I have no idea. But I've still got some holidays to take before Christmas. So I had my week off and sort of did that at work, and people sort of commented on it. And then middle of last week, one of the girls in the office sort of said to me, she goes, "Oh, do you still collect old games?" And obviously the radar goes off, doesn't it? And beep, 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 boing. And you admit, yes, of course I do. the old, you just pick up on conversation, don't you? What's that? And then the next thing you hear, she says, "Oh, I said, well, do you want some Xbox games?" I was like, did a boing. Xbox games? Yeah. Do you know? And of course, immediately you start thinking, what sort of Xbox games? And she goes, "Well, I don't know." She says, "Are the kids' games?" She says, yellow and green and white boxes. And I'm thinking, oh, that'll be 360 stuff, won't it? And I thought, well, she's got 2 girls, 2 girls which are sort of grown up now. And I thought, well, that could be anything, couldn't it? It could be like the horse games. I like horse games on this channel. Or it could be, something completely different. And I had absolutely no idea. I said, well, she said, what were you doing with them? And she said, well, I was going to take them to a charity shop. And I thought, well, they're going to the charity shop, they're never going to come out again, because nothing goes into charity shops and comes out at the moment anyway. Certainly not in my experience recently, anyway. So she said, "I don't take them down to charity shops." She said, "If you want them, you can have them." I said, "Okay, well," I said, "We'll bring them in and I'll have a look through them." I said, "Do you want anything for them?" She said, "Oh, no, I just want to get rid of them." I said, "Sure, yeah, okay, well, I'll bring them in and I'll have a look." So this was Wednesday, just gone. Thursday she didn't bring them in, and then Friday she bought them in. And it's sort of, she goes, "I've got those games for you." She goes and gets a Marks and Spencer's carrier bag out. And when you immediately clock something, and we all know if we collect Xbox and 360 and Xbox, well, we know what the colour of the cases are, don't we? But of course, these are the dark green ones. So these aren't the 360 ones. These aren't the Xbox one. These are Xbox games. So they're boing, and he's sort of like trained in. He's like, "Oh my goodness me, they're Xbox games. This is fantastic." She said, "I've got those games for you. There you go." And I was like, "Okay, I'll just have a quick look." So you start having a look through them, don't you? And your heart sort of immediately starts to sink. Oh, I've got that, got that. Oh dear. So I've got, with the exception of one, I've got them all. She's fine. And they're all common games as well. So I'll show you in a second. Anyway, I'll get to the games. Don't worry. The story comes first. I'll get to the games. So I said, Liv. I said, "There's not a lot." That's the name, Liv. I said, "There's not a." I said, "That's a shame, Liv." I said, "I've got all these," and she goes, "Oh, well, do you still want them?" I said, "Well, look," I said, if you don't want them," I said, I know people who collect this sort of stuff. I said, I'll try and put the word out. So if anybody wants any of these games, give me a shout, because I don't want them. I said, I don't want them. I don't need them. And so I said, you don't want the batch. She said, no. She said, you don't want anything for them? No. So there's one game in here, Liv, I said, which is, worth something. She said, do you want anything for it? She goes, no, just have them, she says. She said, oh, did you... she said, have you got any more at home? She said, oh, I'm sure we got some more somewhere. Well, okay, well, so if you can get anything else like that, just bring them in and I'll have a look for you. And she goes, oh, she's got that little Nintendo one. She goes, the DS or something. I said, yeah. She said, oh, we've got loads of those. And like, doing. And I said, what's the other one as well? The other, I said, what, the 3DS? She went, yeah. Oh, we got some of those as well. Doing. And because Mrs. Bear's in her repairing travels has picked up 3DSs for sale on eBay, which was sort of sold as not working, and all they needed was a bloody good charge because she hadn't do anything to them. They were so run down, the charger just wouldn't kick into life, so she just sort of refreshed it and it working absolutely fine. So we got a couple of 3DSs, like, oh, 3DS games, yeah, I'll bring them in. I was like, great. So we'll have to see what comes there. Anyway, these are the Xbox games. And you'll see what it is now. So all of them bar one, and I'll tell you which one it is we go along, I've got. But the great thing about these was all the games that she brought in were in much better condition than the ones I've got. So if anybody wants these are actually my copies that I don't need anymore because they're a little, they're a little bit on, I'd say, the tatty side. Bit like me, a bit rough around the edges, no bits missing, apart from one game, they've all got manuals in there. All the discs are in fair condition. The manuals are in fair condition. The covers and the cases are in, case not broken. So there's nothing drastically wrong with them. It's just the ones that she had. Very much had two kids, and when you see the games in it, because I asked her about this, I said, I said, your daughter's been playing these games. She went, oh no, we got friends of ours who's, oh right, okay, and so you'll see what I mean, because these weren't the sort of games I was expecting to find. And like I said, there isn't anything here that is particularly hard to find. You may find it, you're struggling to get hold of a copy or something like that. I don't know, you need a manual or something. There's nothing here that's particularly difficult to find. So it might be the case that everybody's got them, in which case I should just take them down a charity shop myself. So first up is Classics Conflict Desert Storm. So I had this. This is Liv's copy. I've got the sort of the green label version of it. So again, all complete. Got the classics disc in there. I've checked mine. Mine's got the original disc. That's all right. So Conflict Desert Storm, and they do pass the click test and everything else. So these are absolutely fine. I'll just drop those on there. Running out of space in here today. Next up, we've got Enter the Matrix. Again, I've sort of checked how much these are sort of sell for. I mean, these are mostly 50p to £1 games at the very, very most. But again, nice, fair condition. You've got bits of bump in there as well. We've got the disc in. A little bit of a sort of dirt on the back of that one there. But like I said, these are my copies, so. Next one up, we've got Halo 2. So you can see what I'm sort of saying. I'm saying your daughter's playing these games, because when these would have come out, in fact, I'm pretty sure she was saying they were somebody else's. I can't remember. But of course, these games sort of came out early 2000s, so their daughters wouldn't have been particularly old. But anyway, I don't know where it's come from. I've got no idea at all. But Halo 2, again. What we got next? Next one up is Hitman Contracts, which is not a hard game to track down. It's interesting, I noticed on there, you can maybe just, I need to see that on the disc, there's some white markings on it. Well, they must be part of the actual disc design, because my disc, my copy, has got exactly the same markings in exactly the same place. So I thought, oh, that's a bit of paint or something on that, all scratched off. And I checked my copy, I thought, it's exactly the bloody same. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe there's a problem at the factory. I don't know. Some of these, this one still had the Asda label on it when it was purchased at £39.97. Halo was £39.99. So I don't know how long they've been sat there and doing all these things. 007 Nightfire, which we talked about James Bond games recently. Talked about it with SNES-tastic and mentioned it on my Quantum of Solace videos. but you don't own any of these original Bond adventures which were done. There was this one, there was Agent Under Fire and Everything or Nothing. They're always worth picking up. I think Everything or Nothing, Pete was saying, has probably survived the worst of the three, but they're still good games. Don't be put off. Next up, a couple of Medal. Oops, there goes the microphone. A couple of Medal of Honor games. Medal of Honor Frontline. This one's got a game label on the manual, so I know that annoys a few people. Great game series, Medal of Honor. Shame what happened to it, but they didn't move with the times. If you don't move with the times, you get left behind. Medal of Honor Rising Sun. I had that on backup when it first came out. Do like my history, so that was quite fun to put out. There we go. You don't play, you volunteer. Right, so we come to the one game which actually I'll do the one that the last one, which is the Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. I've got all these and the Third Age. This one actually didn't. This was the only one that didn't come with a manual. So there we go. Lord of the Rings. So we come to the game that I haven't got, and which is one that's in there. I didn't actually. I thought I got it. I've actually got a PlayStation 2, and I wasn't until I sort of checked afterwards and realised actually how much this was. Trades in for £6, I think sell for 15 at the moment. This is Star Wars Battlefront 2. Now, I don't actually have any of the Battlefront games for the Xbox, but there we go. So Battlefront 2. So it's a £15 game at the moment on the Xbox. Don't think I ever actually played this one. I think I played the first one. May have had the first one on backup on the Xbox. Pretty sure, but yeah. So she didn't want anything for that one. So in a way, just the one game. So out of the three, it's about 9 games in there. I think it was 9. 1, 2, 3. 9 games altogether. Only one I needed. Anybody wants any of the other ones? Let me know. If not, I'll just put them back into the system and let them rotate through. But I mean, there's no trading value on anything like that at all, so they'll probably get donated straight to charity, and we shall see. But yeah, so nice to see that. Interesting to see if she brings me anything else in. I don't know whether she will or not. We'll have to see, won't we? We'll have to see. If we do, I shall show it in a future video. Slurp. Right, so that's the Xbox stuff. Let's go on with some shout-outs. There, right. So, yeah, I've been coming across a few new channels, and I've been desperately trying to sort of do these before people beat me to it. I'm not knocking Gernaldinho for doing this, because it's great that he's done a couple of videos recently where he shouted people out, and both times I sort of said I was going to do that. I was going to shout that channel out, but no, he's doing great work there, Rob, and it's nice that he's done that. And I know a couple of channels he shouted at. So I'm going to do 5 here. There are some other channels because I had about 7 or 8 I wanted to do, and I thought I'll just do these 5 today, and then I'll do the other ones in another video I'm going to do in the future when I've got some stuff to show you. Because if I do 8 or so, that sort of takes everything out of the equation. It's nice actually to come across some new channels, because what I used to do, sort of again going back about March, April time last year, was just sort of come across new channels. Because if you're starting a YouTube channel, it's always very difficult for people to cotton on to what you're doing. You know, I said before, it took me a while to get going. And I've always tried to be fair to people and give them a shout out to get them going. And people have always been fair enough to give me a shout out in return, or at some point. And I know a couple of people have done that recently, which is brilliant. And that's great. So I want to sort of return the favour onto these guys. Incidentally as well, just not being an ungrateful sod, but I want to thank everybody for their comments and their kind words and their appreciation in everything else that they left me on the 500 subscriber video. It really sort of touched me that so many people just came along and just sort of said well done and congratulations. From when it first started to where it is now, it's just been amazing. It really has been, and you have to work hard at doing something like this. It doesn't, you don't sort of generate a lot of views very, very quickly. Well, certainly in my experience, anyway. So starting from basically nothing and working my way up to where I am now, I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, and just that so many people have been so kind about it, and to attract the attention of people who have got quite large channels. and varying sort of different levels. People like SNES-tastic, 2T, on a retro tip, 3 sort of different level of channels there in terms of volume of people going through it, and people that regularly sort of comment on my videos or in conversation with me about stuff. So it's hard work, hard graft, but really from there, and what wanting to make sure that I appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed for everybody who came across from that. I was worried it was going to drop back straight down by 500, but we appear to have sort of carried on a little bit. So great, and thank you again. And hopefully, other people now who I'm shouting out will get an opportunity to get to that point as well, and may do a similar thing in the future. So we'll have to see. Anyway, the 5 channels that I wanted to sort of get through this episode. Again, I'm not going to go into great detail because I'd like you to find out for yourself. It's all very well sort of me saying what these people are doing, whatever, but that may not be what you're interested in, but it doesn't hurt for you to go across and have a look and see what these channels are all about. And if you do enjoy them, then you'll subscribe and comment, and it'll go from there. A couple of channels are sort of very, very similar. Some I know a bit more about than others, which is probably sort of covers that last sentence, but not saying that I don't watch each channel. I do come across and I do watch people like. First one, A Hermit's Hideaway. Now I know this channel does some gameplay videos, because he'd put up a game called Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun, and I sort of watched this video. I thought, that's really good, that. And if I've never played it myself, but if you've ever seen it, it's a game going back to the sort of 8 and 16-bit computer days back in the late 1980s, where I think there was a spate of circus type of games that came out. I think I had one on the Amiga called Circus Attractions, which I think was a Rainbow Arts game. And anyway, this guy put up this Fiendish Freddy's Big Top of Fun, and I'd never played it, but it was very, very cartoony. It was just great to watch him play that game. And there's a couple of other gameplay videos on his channel which I watched as well. And I thought, well, what, I'll subscribe. I do quite enjoy watching gameplay videos, commentary or no commentary. So A Hermit's Hideaway, if you like that sort of thing, go across and have a look. Next one up, another guy who does some gameplay videos, and this is Games Master Stuart. Or was it Game Master Stuart? I can't remember. I'll put the link in the bottom anyway. Also the same link, Game Master Stuart. Again, the channel just came across by accident a couple of weeks ago. Gameplay videos, I think, mostly. But yeah, so I enjoyed it, and of course, very, very kindly dropped a subscription to my channel as well. So enjoy those. Go across and have a look at that. Here's a guy who does, next one, a guy who does pickups and things like that. I think Rob shouted him out before. It's Gib84 Gaming, and I think he gave me a shout out a couple of weeks ago. I'm pretty sure he did, which was very good of him to do so, because it's nice to be shouted out on other people's channels, especially when although we are aware of each other's channel, I have sort of like regular people I know quite well. I must admit, not spoken a great deal to this particular channel, so it's nice to have some sort of shout out from somebody who I don't really know all that well, so that's great. But yeah, again, great channel to go across and have a look at, definitely worth checking out. Rob also picked up this channel, and I actually came across this guy last week, I think it was. I thought I must do this guy a shout out because I like what he does. It's sort of pickups and challenges and things. He's done was it one of those CX challenges that somebody does, and she shall not be named. And then he's done some pickups. But he picked up was it a game on the PlayStation 2? I can't remember. Picked up in a charity shop for £3. It's like 15 quid game in CX. And immediately I'm sort of enamoured to this guy. I like the way he works. And he also buys a lot of stuff that I'm sort of shoehorned in with this sort of like budget sort of cheap stroke crap games thing. And he sort of tends to buy a lot of the sort of the cheap games as well, but a lot of stuff I've already got. So this is the Inked Northerner. Yeah, really, really interesting channel to watch. Again, reasonably new to YouTube. Go along and support him. Rob's already shouted him out once. We should probably get him over 50 subscribers by the end of the week, I would have thought, with me and Rob's combined effort to do that. And then finally, Rob again shouted this guy out, and I've just watched his latest video this morning. I was like, oh my goodness me. Just the sheer volume of sort of stuff. And he's also got quite a decent Wii collection. It's always nice to see people who've got a decent Wii collection. I know Eddie put his collection up last week. But it's always nice to see other people who do it. because I get the impression sometimes I'm the only person collecting Wii games. Well, I'm the only person stupid enough to collect Wii games. But other people do have Wii. Oh, yeah, Wii games. Oh, yeah, how many Wii games you got? Oh, 50. What? Why have you got 50? You don't collect Wii. Well, and that's what it is. You know, people don't collect Wii games. Just have got for some reason got 50 to 100 Wii games. This guy's got a decent collection as well. Rob shouted him out. He's just picked up 2 massive hauls from charity shops, which is again, I don't know how that's happened. Well, I do know how it's happened. He told us in the video, but and it's Krusty Plug Andy, who was again kind enough to give me a mention in one of his videos recently as well. I'm not sure why. No, I do, and thank you very much indeed for that. So, favour return for you, sir. Hopefully we can push some more traffic your way. Like I said, a lot of the channels that I shout out and other people shout out, we all watch anyway. We're all sort of part of the same thing. So this, you know, in some cases it's first sort of identification. In other people's, it's sort of like reinforcing what other people have said, and that's always a good thing. If you find 3 or 4 people are shouting your channels out, you're doing the right thing, because people are quite sort of drawn in. So, A Hermit's Hideaway, Game Master Stuart, Gib84 Gaming, Inked Northerner, and Krusty Plug. They will all be in that description below if we were to go across and have a look, as well as also with some other stuff as well, the email address for Desert Island Games and other stuff. But yeah, there we go. So that's that, and then on to some actual pickups, which is the last part of the video. God, what's that time? It is 10 to 12. Is it 10 to 12? I'm so confused now because what time it is. My God, it is 10 to 12. Yeah. Sorry, because at the time on the computer was always an hour out. And I've always been adding what time it was sitting there yesterday doing stuff, and I thought, what time is it now? It's 3 o'clock. No, it's 4 o'clock. Computer says 3, it's actually 4. Computer now says 11:50, so it's actually 11:50 in the morning. I've got the curtain shut and the lights on and everything, and I've got no idea what time. I'm going to be asleep by 3 o'clock this afternoon. No, I can't be. I'm going to go in the loft and check the water tank for the heating. Right, so anyway, digress. Let's go back to the 17th of October, because I went out on the 10th of October for my birthday. Not dropping hints there for any particular reason for next year. And I went into Vintage Gamer in Collie Gate, bumped into Lewis Swishwash and Glory Hunter Scott in there. Had a nice old chinwag with those guys. Nice to see that, and thanks for Scott for the mention in the last video, your last video as well. Great to meet you and Lewis as well. Completely and utterly surprised. It's when you walk into your own local game shop and bump into 2 people who don't live anywhere near you, who you've been watching on YouTube for goodness knows how long, and they're in there at the same time. So I went in again the following week, which was the 17th of October on a Saturday, because I've been out to one of my local town centres. My goodness me, I tell you something. I keep going about how hard it is to sort of find games in the wild. I was going to write this down. I was trying to remember. I'm trying to think of the top of my head here. But this town centre at one point prior to lockdown, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm walking around here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Had 9 charity shops. It's got a CEX, a cash converters, a pawnbrokers, and 2 cash generator places. I've got 14 places that I can go to, and a market stall. 15 places. Local people know probably what I'm talking about. 15 places I could go to and try and get games. When I went last Saturday, which was the 17th, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 charity shops were open. 2 of them are gone. 2 of them have gone completely. 6 were open. The pawnbrokers have got nothing in at all. Basically, he's only got sort of current generation stuff. Pretty much stopped taking anything now. That was gone. The 2 cash generator places had nothing. The CEX had nothing. The cash converters had nothing. Well, cash converters had, I think it was Shadow Warriors on the NES for a tenner, but I thought, I don't know. And the market stall had nothing. And I thought, well, I was in and out in less than an hour, which is really not right. So I don't know whether that's reflective anywhere else. There's one place I haven't been locally for a few weeks or so, which I was hoping to try and get to this week because of the wind and rain we had on Saturday. I thought, I'm not even going to try and tempt him to do that. I'm not going to go out and kill myself, get myself killed or wet or whatever the reason. So I didn't bother. So these pickups I've got 1 eBay pickup, and I've got some more games from my friends at Vintage Gamer, who are rapidly becoming a great source of games for me, really. I'm getting to know them in there as well, and also on first name terms with some of them, which is rather good. So let's do the Wii game first. The Wii game, the eBay game from the Wii game I got on eBay. Now again, I don't usually. I mentioned the other night on our WhatsApp chat. I like eBay, but I get bored after about 20 minutes of just looking through stuff because I try and narrow the searches down, look for certain things, look for certain systems. Buy it now, auctions, whatever. And after about 20 minutes, I get a bit fed up with it and decide, what, I'm going to go and watch Dickinson's Real Deal or something. I could spend hours, and I know people set up the tools and everything, because Mrs. Bear does this. She's, watching various stuff she wants to try and bring into repair, and I can't be bothered. I just can't be bothered. So if I'm poking around eBay, and I'll come across something which is very, very rich. It's actually been quite a while, probably since, when was it? Probably say in August, September when I picked that DS stuff up. A couple of DS lots. I haven't really been on there since then. I'm not going to be trying to do so. So I've got this anyway, and it's actually one of the one of the bigger hitters on the Wii. But I've cheated slightly. So we got the last story. There we go. So it is just the standard version. Now, the more eagle-eyed amongst you may have already noticed already. You may notice even more from that. Yes, it's the Japanese version. Now, why did I buy this? Well, it's so difficult at the moment to pick up a copy of it. There is a limited edition. There is a standard version. But the standard version is about 25 quid, and quite frankly, that is a bit rich for just something that really is going to... Because it's not my sort of game, so it's going to sit on the shelf. I'm not going to play it. And I can't find... Because there is a limited edition. There's a sort of a big sort of box with a steel book and a CD and a booklet in there. I know various people have got them. Swines that you are. I think a lot of people are going to be when the game were knocking on my cheeks. It's like a very, very sort of late release on the Wii. It sort of went into Game or wherever, or HMV or something like that, and didn't sell, and they were just trying to get rid of them, and everybody bought them cheap, and now you can't buy them for less than... You can probably get them for less than 100 quid, but again, that probably you're looking at least sort of 80 quid. CX sold it for 60, but you're never quite sure what you're going to get. The 4 stores, I think, in the UK have got a copy of this limited edition of Last Story. None of them are near me, so I can't see what they're like. There are copies on eBay, but again, they're sort of starting about 70 quid. And again, just to sit on the shelf and do that, I know I'm not going to find a copy of this in a charity shop, folks. I'm not. I am realistic about this, but I'm just not going to be spending £70 at the moment on something like that. So this cost me a tenner. Now I'm going to need to I've got to mess with me. I'm going to mod my Wii anyway because I've got a copy of Mario Super Sluggers on which is an American Wii game only. So I thought, well, I'll get this as a bit of a cheat. It does actually, which is quite nice, come with a slipcase. And I know some people like bits of cardboard stuck around their games, so it does actually come with a slipcase, which I thought was quite nice. And I'll just show you the inside as well. So there's the cover there. I always think she's got massive chest for some reason, that front cover. Well, she has. Well, I don't know. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, it's nice on the inside. I've got the manual, and I think there's also a trailer for some. There's some booklet in there. Yeah, there we go. Japanese instructions. I hope Dylan's watching, because I bet he never thought he'd see a Japanese game on here. I hope there's an advertisement for Xenoblade Chronicles and Metroid Other M, which is... Oh, there you go. Not just focusing on Dylan, because I know Dylan collects a lot of the limited run Japanese games, but anyway, collects Japanese games. But you never thought you'd see a Japanese game on this channel. Oh, the old Retro Bear's changed, hasn't he? But yeah, so that cost me a £10. I think there's £1.50 postage as well. So just to sit on my shelf and say I've actually got a copy of it for the time being is fine with me. I'm comfortable with that. There may be some people who aren't comfortable with that. One of them is sitting downstairs at the moment who thinks it's a bit of a cheat to get this game in the wrong format on the system, but there we go. But yeah, I'm not going to be spending 70 quid just like that. Same with the Xenoblade Chronicles, same with Pandora's Tower, same with the Monster Hunter Tri set. They're all sort of between 30 and 60, 70 quid each. I think Pandora's Tower is much more than that one because it was quite a even more limited run than Last Story. I don't know. They are sort of Grail titles. But again, I don't like that term either. Grail titles doesn't apply to me because I just collect stuff. Other people sort of like they're going to collect something. They must get those 5 or 6 or 10 titles or whatever, and then they're happy with it. I don't have a Grail. I don't think I desperately want. Just stuff I come across I haven't got. So I haven't got that. Like Star Wars Battlefront 2, I haven't got that. I've not been after it for a particular reason. Just cropped it up. Last Story, I must say, it is something I do regularly check eBay for. But I thought, you know what, I'll have that. And it come in a couple of days. It was meant to be a week delivery. It came in a couple of days, so even better. The other stuff I picked up from Vintage Gamer, and for those of you who've been watching recently, will notice that I've been on a bit of a Master System kick this last few weeks or so. And I did say back in February, I really want to get some more Master System games this year. And I've been focusing very much on that. So all the cash that people gave me for birthday and stuff, because most people just say, get yourself something. My dad did it. Mother-in-law did it. So just get yourself something. We know the stuff you want to go and get to see. It is there's a few quid to go and get you something. Don't expect that at my age, but that's how my families are. So I thought, well, I'll go and I spent some of it on my couple of weeks, my birthday, and then I spent the rest of it. Nearly, I still got a bit left over, but I still spent the rest on this and picked up some more Master System stuff. Now, I've been looking on the Master System specifically, trying to get stuff which has got the box, has got the manual, and has got the hanger. But because I've been through this stock about 3 times now at Vintage Gamer, I've now sort of found out that they don't get a lot of new stuff. And in fact, I picked one of these games here. I said, "Oh, have you had that in this week?" And he went, "No, we've had no Master System stuff in this week at all." So I was a bit bemused because I didn't see it the first time. So they obviously don't own a lot of stuff in. Basically what I did, I had to sort of like admit defeat because this place has got 10 copies of like Enduro Racer on the Master System now. I think it's £3 box from CEX. It's not a particularly hard game to get hold of. It's not an expensive game to get hold of. But I could not make, out of all the copies they got, one decent copy. Every copy had got the hanger missing. Every single copy, not every single copy, no, that's it, no. Most of them have got the hanger missing, and every single one have got the manual missing. I'm like, oh dear. And I sort of thought, well, I sort of stood there and I started looking at a couple of other games. I thought, you know what, I've got to sort of just try and focus here. So I thought, well, if it hasn't got the hanger, but it's got the manual, if it's got the manual and the box is in good condition and it hasn't got the hanger, I'll take it. Because also, as well, they can't charge me a comparatively priced mint with CEX. Because CEX obviously got the unbox box mint level. Mint. If they've got that, I think, well, if I've got a boxed one with a hanger missing, then he can't charge me the top price for it. I can still get a game with the manual and the cartridge and a good condition box. So that was what I was doing. So I've got 8 Master System games here, 4 of which are missing the hanger. Now, before you can go, heathen, you shouting already. Piss off. Now, look, look, it's either I get it or I don't get it, and I really want to sort of start building my System collection up. I've been watching stuff on eBay. I've been looking at some of the stuff on eBay as well, and again, a lot of the stuff on there has got the hangers and the manuals missing, or the hangers there but the manual missing. If the manual's missing, I don't want it, because I like the instructions there. I mean, put it this way, right? It's a Master System controller. You got a control pad, and 2 buttons. It's not complicated as to what the controls are going to be. Not like when you've got one of these buggers with all these different, playing one of these games, and you've got to hold that down and pull that there and swing that up that, and, tilt it at 33 degrees. That's different. You need the instructions to go through it and work out what's going on. These sort of games, you don't. It's either one button does one and one does the other. Not complicated. But I like the manuals because they're nice. They're nice, even Master System manual, which you'll see in a minute. They're quite nice. The hangers I could probably live with because I didn't realise hangers were a thing until about 12 months ago. So I'd already bought like Mega Drive and Master System stuff with hangers missing. So I'm already halfway down the road. But realistically, if it's got a box, it's got a manual, and it's in good condition, I'm going to buy it. If it's got the hanger, bonus. So we've got some here with hangers and some without. And so the price is still on them. Why have I still got the price on there? Right, so shall we do the hangers first? No. Okay, we'll just do them in order. In order they come off the pile. And it's a real mixture of stuff. It is a real mixture of stuff. So first of all, we've got Olympic Gold, which is a game I own on the Game Gear. I think it was donated to me by Bin Boots L Picking before lockdown, I think it was. Sponsored by Coca-Cola. This is based around the Barcelona Olympic Games of 1992. Do you know where you were watching Barcelona 1992? I can tell you where I was. I was in Holland on holiday. There we go. So we've got the manual. We've got the cartridge around the right way, Stu. The hanger is in place as well. And it's in nice condition. It's also come out of a place in Lichfield, which is called... What's it called? Games Exchange. I'm not sure if it's still there or not. I have no idea. That's probably a bit too close for you to see. But anyway, there we go. Olympic Gold on the Master System. I'll tell you what I paid for all these at the end of it. Right, next one. This one doesn't have a hanger. It's, again, not a particularly expensive game, this one. Did that one have the Sega sticker on it? No Sega sticker on that one. This one does have. So, this is Mick and Mac Global... A game known as Mick and Mac Global Gladiators, or Global Gladiators, sponsored by McDonald's. So, no hanger missing. No hanger, sorry. The hanger is missing. That's why there's no hanger on it. But it does have the Sega label on the side of it. Box is in really good condition. Again, not an expensive game to get full price, sort of, if you can find it. But again, this is the best copy. They got 3 copies. This is the best one. Manual's a bit dog-eared, but an iron will sort that out. Cartridge in. And there's the back of the box. I think the box is not one of the better ones as well, so it's a little crack on the top of it, you'll notice. There's a little crack. Mrs. Bear noticed this. I didn't notice at the time. I spent most of my day opening and closing clamshell boxes in that shop on Saturday. Ridiculous. So, Mick and Mac Global Gladiators, or Global Gladiators, or whatever. Sponsored by McDonald's. I'm not sponsored by McDonald's. Be nice to be. Next one up, I got this game on the NES. I picked it up earlier on this year as well, the loose cartridge version. This was the only copy they got of this. I think the spine's a bit faded, a little bit maybe, but it was a nice copy otherwise. So this is Marble Madness. Just show you that spine. You probably can't see that because of the light, but it looks, there we go. It looks a little faded to me. I don't know, the Virgin and the Sega label look alright, but I'm not sure whether Marble Madness itself has faded. Probably not, I don't know. So we've got the hanger in place on this one. We've also got a lovely looking manual there. And a blue label on that one. And again, nice, clean copy, this one. Nice condition, that one. So Marble Madness. Next up, this is the game that I mentioned earlier. I said I didn't see it the week before, but apparently it's been there for some time. Again, I didn't know this game came out on the Master System, but wow, it must have been an early release because I'm looking at the cover of it. This is part of a trilogy of games. I think we had Summer Games, Winter Games, we got World Games from Epic. This is really nice. I mean, that hanger is beautifully sort of stiff. But yeah, so Summer Games and Winter Games were sort of a very sort of sports, say simulation, but arcade sports games in the sort of the spirit of track and field, hyper sports, etc. This was sort of like a bit more comedy. So you got things like barrel rolling and bull riding and cliff jumping and barrel jumping and things like that. And I was so impressed with this because again, it's absolutely delightful inside. I mean, that is practically about as top level condition as you can get. And I'm pretty sure they charged me top whack for this one. I couldn't find a price on CEX. I got no idea how much that game sort of sells for. There's that back of the box there, you can just see. So we got caber tossing, we got bull riding, and then we got barrel jumping at the bottom. But yeah, so they were a great name from Epics. They were very well regarded games, those, back on the 8-bit computers. So yeah, I didn't even know that game existed, so that was really good. Right, next one. I've been after this game for so flipping long, and finally I managed to put together a nice copy of it. I say a nice copy of it. It's not brilliant, but it will do. Again, making up one copy of sort of like 6 or 7 they got in there. So this is Afterburner. So I picked up Outrun a couple of weeks ago. I've now got Afterburner. So I just need Space Harrier now to complete the trilogy. I put those 3 games together for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah, the 4 mega power cartridge. Again, that old style sort of graphic on the front, picture on the front. Love those. Hanger is in place. Manual's a bit on the scruffy side, but the cartridge is fine. But again, that was going through a number of copies to put that one together to have a decent one. Nice click there, Sean. Nice click on that one. And there's the back of it there. Of course, this was a game which shouldn't... You can see why they converted it to the home systems at the time, but it's just not something that was going to work. Even with the... I think I've got the Mega Drive version. I've got Afterburner 2 on the Mega Drive now. So I can look at that one. Again, another game I've been after for ages. This one has got a bit of a duffel box and a bit of a... It's missing the hanger as well. In fact, I probably picked the worst box I could have found at the time for this one. Not to worry. It's a game I've been after for ages. And again, I managed to put together a copy. It's in Golden Axe. I've got no hanger. And you can see the box there is a bit missing off it, and it doesn't quite close properly down the side because there's a crack in it. But not to worry. We can remedy that with a bit of glow. There's the manual. And the cartridge. So again, an absolute classic. I think a few people were playing this during I think Rob started it on one of his first play or in 10 years games, I think it was, or one of the series he does like that, and a few people played various versions of Golden Axe. So there we go. One of my favourite games, that one. Nice to have that on the Master System, because I've got that on the Mega Drive compilations, and I've also got it on the Mega Drive Mega Game cartridges as well. Game number 7, this one also doesn't have the hanger. And again, as mentioned, Rob playing the game. He played this one recently. And it's the only copy in the shop that I had, but I really wanted to pick it up. And this is Super Smash TV. Super Smash TV on the Sega Master System. Now, I'm not sure why it's called Super, because the arcade game was called Smash TV. When it was converted to the 8 and 16-bit computers, it was called Smash TV. When they stuck it on the Super Nintendo, it was called Super Smash TV, because everything was called Super on the Super Nintendo. So why is it going to be called Super on the Master System? No idea. No manual. Now, for the more initiated amongst you will notice, hang on a second, it's the Game Gear manual. Yes, it is. I have a copy of this on the Master System, but I have a copy... I have the Game Gear manual for some reason. I'm not sure why. But I thought, well, I'll take that anyway. So if anybody needs a Super Smash TV Game Gear manual, and you have a Super Smash TV Master System manual to swap, let me know. But again, it was the only copy they had in the shop, so I thought, well, again, a game I have played many years ago, not played for many years later. And we were talking about this the other day. We were talking about the previous video. I said I was going to possibly buy it on the Super Nintendo if Retro Kitten hadn't snapped it up. I don't know. And then the final one, last one of the lot. Again, this one doesn't have the hanger on it, but again, this is another arcade classic, another home computer classic from the 8-bit days, and this is Impossible Mission, which you may not be able to ever get. Impossible Mission from Epix Games. Well, it says from Epic, it says US Gold. So no hanger, but again, got the manual in there, got the cartridge. And this is sort of classic platform action. Classic puzzle platform action. In sort of the James Bond style. It's a classic on the Commodore 64, if you've never played it before. So yeah, so all those, again, like I said, some of them have got hangers on. So we've got 4 hangers and 4 without. That's the stack for this week. I'll just try and share that there. And that was 45 nicker. So 45 quid for those 8 games. It's about £5.60, which I think is pretty good because, yeah, I think it's pretty good. They're, you know, I've been able to sort of mix and match. Put together decent copies of some of them. We're finding, you know, so the World Games, I was absolutely thrilled to find that in such a good condition. Everything got the manual with it and got the boxes. The boxes, the manuals, the cartridges, good condition. I'm happy with. You know, with the hangers, okay, I can accept the rough with the smooth. That's not so bad. I'm not one of these picky collectors. I'm getting more and more picky in my old age, but I don't want to sort of dwell on that too much and leave it as it is. I thought, well, you just, you know, pick up what I can, grab one or two there. Chances of me ever seeing other stuff like this, and this sort of, sometimes I'm those sort of places you need to get to, and I'm sort of floundering here and getting tired. But it's going to be very difficult to come across those sort of games elsewhere. I know we've got a lot of sort of like independent shops around here, but the one that's closest to me is that one. There's another one that's close to me, but they don't do sort of retro games. There's the one I went to in Briley with Retro Kit, but that only opens when Richard feels like he wants to open up. I'm not knocking Richard, but that's how he is. And the other one I've got to sort of travel a bit further afield to get to. So, and of course, we've got any gaming markets at the moment. You don't come across sort of this stuff in the charity shops. CEX have stuff, but very, very few stores have it. So if you want to take a risk and buy it online, or you go on eBay where people are already driving the prices up on those sort of things. I'd have never probably got a deal as good as that with those games there in it for the same price. And if I'm trying to buy bundles of Master System stuff at the moment, I've already got games sort of floating around it, and the ones that I'm interested in have already got, sort of already up to sort of £5-6 a game already. They've got 5 games in there. The lots already at 20-25 quid. I'm thinking, well, I don't really want to spend a bit much more than that. But anyway, so we will try and pick up whatever Master System games we can when we keep going. That's my system of choice at the moment. Xbox, I was very pleased to get some there. Wii, so I've actually added 3. I've actually got games in my 3 sort of, where are we? That one there, and that one over there. In my sort of 3 section at the moment, which is great. Which is fantastic. So I was chuffed with that. So that's my last couple of weeks worth of pickups. We've got the shoutouts. We've got the TMB Gaming podcast, which will return, which returns this week. But in case that's already gone out, isn't it? So I think the next one should be the 8th of November. That'll probably be the next one. So that's keep going on. Other stuff happening and going uploaded. Barely Played, Desert Island games, other things I'm doing. Hopefully a Mrs. Bear's repair video before the end of the year if we can get round to it. And other stuff. Hopefully some Pac-Man videos are going up as well. I've been recording my Pac-Man gameplay. Must get those sorted. Plenty of stuff going on. I'm just too lazy to do it half the time. Once again, thank you to everybody who's commented, subscribed over the years. It's been brilliant, and that 500 video was wonderful for so many people saying so many nice things. I think that's it. I think I'm going to stop now because I've got to get to the loft and check the water tank. So, on that note, it's the Retro Bear saying thank you very much indeed for tuning in. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and tick that bell, which tells you when more videos are going up on YouTube, possibly. I don't know. It should do. I don't think it works properly, but anyway. In the meantime, do take care. We'll see you again very, very soon.